Hey guys, welcome to a video here this evening. We're going to be doing on VeChain. I've been talking with some people on the Discord over the last couple hours. I mean, really over the last couple days. Just been kind of taking a look at things. And I did a video a couple days ago. I was talking about VeChain. I'm gonna get into it here in just a little bit. But we were talking about whether or not we were going to have a good run to Christmas, or if we had some downside ahead of us. And we've really been moving down for the last couple days, but I do think that there is a decent opportunity here. So I want to talk about what those opportunities might be, and if there's any merit to any of this. Of course, before I get started, you guys know the drill. This isn't financial advice. I'm really just here for giving my opinion on the market. This is just my opinion. You're responsible for clicking the buttons, doing your own trades, but you can use me as one source of information. All right, that having been said, let's just take a look at VeChain. I'm looking at the daily time frame, and what I'm looking at here is, I'm looking at we had a pretty darn clear impulse. You really can't uh, you can't dispute that we had a good move up. And if I go to like a 4-hour time frame and take a look at that move up, I think there is plenty of subdivision that's there. We had a clean 3-wave up. Then of course we had a little bit of a correction down here, which we would expect. And then it looks like we had another three waves up here to the top, and we had another little correction. Then we finally made our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish this 5th wave. So the subdivision here looks really, really good for an impulse. After an impulse, you get a correction. With this little impulse, we had a little correction. With this impulse, we had a little correction. And then with our final impulse to finish all 5 waves, we expect there to be a bigger correction. And what did we have? We had the price go from up here at 0.008 down here to 0.0046. Pretty steep. And then we had a nice move up, and we saw a nice move back down, a little bit lower. All right, so let's just take a look at the technicals here. We're going to take a look at the technicals, and I always use my trend-based fib extension tool for this. For a correction, I expect the targets on this. I'll talk about where you get the pivots from, but I expect the targets to be at the 618 or the 100. Sometimes it gets to the 123.6, sometimes it doesn't. But in this case, if we take our first pivot point right up here at the top, and then our second pivot point is our next dominant pivot, our first part of the correction, and then of course we have our next wave, which is actually what's going to create your trend. All right, so we're measuring the length of this first correction here, and we are projecting the length of this from where our next dominant pivot was. And for a correction, we would expect this again. The first stop is going to be the 618. You can see we had support here on the 618. We had a decent reaction off of it. We failed, right? So clean support and resistance flip right here. So again, just for the record, this level is significant resistance, and that's sitting there at 66.25. So just keep that number in your mind. Let's just call it 6600 because that was resistance, it was support, it was resistance, it was support, it was resistance. So if we break through this, it's going to be support. Okay. All right, so we're just going to know that right off the top. That's going to be support at 6,600 if we break above that. All right, so right now we're looking for a break of 6,000 currently, but let's just take a look. So we have we have an A, a B, and a C correction. We're starting to move back up here. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at this. First, I want to see if there's any merit to there being some kind of a channel here. It's very possible that we do have a little bit of a channel. Let's just see if this flows very well. Going from, actually this looks very, very nice. So let's just take a look at this. All right, so I'm going to get rid of the background here because that's probably a little distracting. Let's get rid of the background. Let's focus on the pivot on the top, another pivot on the top. We had a pivot on the bottom and another pivot on the bottom, almost exactly to the tick, all 4 times. Obviously, 2 of them are going to be where you're doing your baseline from, which is where I'm taking these 2 top pivots, pulling it down to the bottom pivot. So these 3 are almost guaranteed to, to hit. But this one was pretty darn close. I mean, very, very close. Decent reaction off of it. We got to the median. We started to roll over. But upside targets, very, very easy for us to say that we're probably going to go back up to the 76 to 7,800 mark. Now, if we break out of this, that is the moneymaker right there. So let's just see what we've got coming off of this. So coming off of the completion of this correction, what I'm saying could potentially be the completion of the correction. Again, we do have one more target down here that we do have to pay attention to, and this is at the 123.6, which, if you're on the Discord, we were talking about this. Very possible downside target 36 to 3,800. So yes, that is something I have to pay attention to if we're not able to hold this support. So we're basically sitting right here, right now, on a support. Okay, so we've got this level. Really, if we're taking a look at 4-hour true support, it's going to be right here at this level. So right here at about, we'll just call it 5,600. That's pretty important. Very possible for us to come down to this 54.68 mark. But what I want to do is I want to point out that on this impulse and correction, we came down almost to the 707. We went beyond the 618 just a little bit. Right, so we almost hit the 707, which the 707, just in case you're curious, is the square root of 0.5. So 70.7% is the square root of 50%. So that's why this is that's why I put this here. So we didn't quite get there. It is possible that we come back down here again, but there are some levels, obviously, that we do have to pay attention to as far as support goes. I do expect there to be some support here. Also, I've got this bias because I also think Bitcoin is probably going to go for a move to the upside. If we're taking a look at stochastics, we can definitely see that we've got, the 2-hour, the 3-hour that are all, down here in oversold conditions. The 12-hour, just like on Bitcoin, is concerning to me. The 12-hour is concerning to me. I'm just going to be straight up front on this. That is what can fuel a move down to the 36 to 3,800 level. But let's just take a look here on this move from this bottom right here. I'm going to try and tick this off as close as I can, 44.50 up to this top here, which we'll just say, 6,300 or so. Now the 382 is sitting right here at 55.90. We'll call it 5,600. If that breaks at 5,600, very possible we come down to 53.72 or 51.50. I currently bought in. I bought in at 57.02 or something like that. Paying attention to see if we do break down through the 382, because if we break down to the 382, I'm probably not going to be a buyer until about 51.50, which is going to be down at the 618. So we're going to probably see a little bit of a correction off of this impulsive move here, and then we're going to see a move down. I'm saying that we're probably creating a 1. We're going to creating a 2, and wherever this pivots, we're going to be in for a pretty significant move to the upside. So just keep that in mind. It is very possible that this will take the next several days to move down. I could be wrong on the move to the upside, and it could be that it takes the next several days for it to move itself down. As we were talking on the Discord, there is a coin burn that's in discussion for some of the stolen tokens. So again, it is very possible that we will see, some continuation to the downside. I tend to believe that we're probably going to come back up to, about 6,000. That's probably where I'm planning on selling. Right now, I've currently got sell orders at about 59.75, just shy of 6,000, where I'm probably looking to, to get out of my 5,700 buy. And then again, probably looking for, 51.50 to 5,300 or so, which is where we'll likely end up. So from this move, we're talking about, a move on a much higher time frame as far as the 1-2 that we're currently putting in. So what I'm expecting to happen here is us to create a little bit of an A and a B, and then we're going to come in for the C down here. So again, this is going to take some time. This is kind of what I'm expecting to happen, which is probably one of the reasons why I took this trade. So I'm expecting there to be, a bigger correction, a bigger corrective move, but I do think that there is a little bit of upside. Probably not worth it to take this trade, just to be completely candid with you. I'm taking it as a little bit of a swing because, even from right here where we're at, you're still talking about 6%. That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, people in the stock market make like, 3% a year in some cases. That's pretty extreme. But, I do think that there is a little bit of a move back up to about 6,000, and then I think we're going to see another move down here. Now this level has to hold. Really, this has to hold, down here in this range, and if it doesn't, then I'm going to be cutting losses. So, down here between the 50 and the 618 is probably where I'm going to be layering some bids, assuming that I do get my sell up here, right? If I cut my losses at the 382, I'm not going to buy in down here. I'm going to wait to see that we actually do have a reaction down here on this 5150 level. If we get the reaction down there, I'll buy in. It probably will happen pretty quick, but I will know that my theory here that we just put in a 1 and now we're putting in a 2 to move in for a much larger 3, that will likely be that'll likely be in play. Now, as far as targets for that move go, again, start at the bottom, work yourself to the top of the first wave, go down to the bottom of the second wave. So let's just say in a perfect world, we come down here to the 5150. Our next target for wave 3 is going to be 8121, or we'll just call it 8100. Now, what that is going to do, if this does happen, think about this. All right, so let's just say this takes time, but let's say we come all the way up here. Keep in mind this trend line that we've got right here is going to be below where the target really is, okay? So we're looking at, from this impulsive move, a 100% expansion at 8100, and on a retrace, if we come down to the 618, we're looking for an expansion up to that same target. Now, if we do pivot here and we're not going to move in for another correction, now we're talking about a move up to the 123.6 expansion off of the first wave, and then also, which is at 8573, 8600. If this does happen, and I think that there is a little bit of high level of probability that this will happen, could happen, we could finally get a move to our 1 cent mark, which we've been talking about. And again, we're talking about probably weeks for this to happen, because you can see here from this time frame, if we start from the top here and work our way over, how long did it take for this correction to happen? It took 33 days for this ABC correction, assuming that's what this is. It took 33 days, which is 1 month. So we're talking like the whole month of January. We could be coming in and we could be putting in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going up for our 5th, which, again, what I'm projecting here will probably take, a significant amount of time. Our target, if, again, in a perfect world, I'm gonna try and bring this out here. Really depends on where we're pulling from. Let me pull it from down here in the 618, and then say we're only going to come up here. So if we do a 3 from 8100, our target's going to be about 8835. So maybe we hit a cent. I'm sorry, not a cent. Yeah, a cent. Apologies. Maybe we do go up that high, but I would tend to believe that we're probably going to stop at 8800. Whatever I buy, that's probably where I'm going to be looking to sell. I'm probably going to be looking to get out anywhere between this level and this level right here, somewhere between 86 and 8800. That's going to be where I'm going to be looking to get out. Now, I do tend to believe that this is probably going to get this move down here, maybe to the 618, and then this 3 then is going to be up here at this 8100 level, and then we're going to be coming back down, probably going to be a shallow retrace on the 4, and then we're going to get that thrust to the upside. Again, maybe it goes all the way up as high as a penny, which actually that would be an algo target. So the 1618 for the 3, the 2618 for the 5, but I'm not really expecting it to go that high. It could be that it just comes up here to 92, but I'll be out of my position here at about 8800. I'll probably scale myself out from probably from 8400 to 8800 or so. Again, from a P&L standpoint, taking this trade down here and probably doing a stop loss at around this pivot right here. This is a pivot that I would be interested in taking a stop on, which is going to be in this range right here. So let's just talk about that being a good stop loss. And as far as an upside target goes, again, we were talking about a move all the way up here. So this is, shoot, 70% if this happens, obviously. You're welcome, Brian. Um, so again, right now we're sitting here at 56.18. We're getting kind of low. If we break 55.90 on a 4-hour time frame, which there's 43 minutes left on this, if we close this 4-hour below 5600, I'll be out and I'll be waiting here at the 618 to see what happens. Not going to just blindly set a bid there. I'll wait to see if there's a reaction there. I have to believe that we're going to be bouncing here. I really do. I have to believe we're going to do a little bit of a bounce, and then we're going to come down for the strike. If I can time this trade right, and right now it's not looking too good, but if I can get this trade right and we get that sell up here at just shy of 6,000, I will have a little bit more confidence in this move down here at the 618 in buying at 51.50. Right now, it's not looking too good, but we can bounce at any point in time. And I do think that Bitcoin's also going to see a little bit of a move to the upside as well, which is probably going to help fuel this. So we'll have to wait and see. We're sitting right here at 56.02, with 42 minutes left on this 4-hour candle, which is what I'm keeping my eye on. But anyway, that's what I've got here. Again, downside targets if the structure breaks is going to be all the way down here at 36 to 3800. There's going to be a significant amount of support here, I would expect, because there is resistance, turn support. That's sitting there at 38.73. So a little bit of a wick down and then claim this as support is possible if we do see some of these downside targets. Right now we're currently trading below 5600. We'll kind of have to wait and see what happens, though. Just have to wait and see what happens. Again, this 4-hour candle has 41 minutes left on it, and I'll be cutting losses and waiting to see what happens down here at 51.50. Definitely, if there's a good reaction, I want to buy in below wherever I stop so that I can at least accumulate a little bit of VeChain on that move down. Nonetheless, again, if you have any questions or anything, I'm always on the Discord. I will be out of the country next week, so just full disclaimer, I won't be having a whole lot of videos that I'll be able to be doing. I may actually not be able to do any videos. It just depends on what kind of internet connection I have when I'm abroad. But of course, if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, enable alerts, all that good stuff. I'm not gonna force your hand or anything, but I do appreciate the views, and if this did help you in any way, shape, or form, I'd like for you to let me know. If there's anything you want me to take a look at, I'm happy to do that as well. Been kind of taking a look at some other things. I've been focusing a lot of time on VeChain, a lot of time on Chainlink, and of course, always spend a lot of time with the king of all the coins, which is Bitcoin. But if there's something that has a little bit of merit to it, I'm very interested in taking a look at that as well. But anyway, wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening.